Recently, we looked at some of the terrible parties in video games where attending could cost you a lot more than a cheap bottle of wine. Then we asked you lot if there were any other gaming shindigs, hoedowns, box socials or bashes that you should similarly steer clear of, and oh boy did you deliver. It seems there's no limit to the number of games that are happy to drop you into a violent or downright weird party, rave or soiree, not to mention the knees-ups, fates, cookouts, raves, receptions, shebangs.
Someone take that thesaurus off him.
Beware spoilers for the following.
Ah, very well. Mr. Cohen awaits your participation at his performance.
You have to be careful at parties with artsy types. You're only ever one unguarded acoustic guitar away from the whole thing going all...
Hey, a guitar! Who likes Wonderwall? Woo!
Oh no.
But an even worse fate awaits those who stumble into Rapture artist Sander Cohen's party in Bioshock Infinite Burial at Sea. As Peyton Vick notes, what about Sander Cohen's party from Bioshock Infinite Burial at Sea 1? Bunnies everywhere being cute, very exclusive to the artsy aristocrats, pretty dresses, and then Cohen electrocutes the dancing couple and makes you and Elizabeth do it, only to electrocute you too and send you down to the splicers.
Don't let the bunnies hopping around fool you. Your host at this decadent get-together, Sander Cohen, is no cuddly figure. Instead, he's a tortured artist, although, to be fair, one who actually outsources most of the torture.
Enter, for God's sake! My views shall not be mocked!
Sander clearly dominates this grim party, as evidenced by the way the guests have A, opted to skulk around the edges of the room, and B, don't have the nerve to tell him his compliments are total nonsense.
This one's a real biscuit. Isn't he a biscuit, lady?
I need to ask you a few questions.
No, I'm not a... How about we change the subject? Who's up for a dance?
I don't know what to make of you, Mr. DeWitt.
No!
Listen, we're not gonna keep...
Fitzpatrick!
Okay, I'm calling it worst party ever.
Said maybe. Yeah, come on! You're gonna be the one that
No.
saves me!
Just doing harmonies.
After all!
Listen, I'm not sure. Maybe I shouldn't go.
Jody, you've been begging me for weeks. You're not going to back up now.
I don't know anybody there. They might all hate me, and... Stress is awful. Let's just go.
Just take a deep breath. There's no reason to panic. It's just a birthday party.
Group social situations are difficult for an adult, let alone a teenager. So imagine how difficult it must be for a teenager who's in touch with her deceased twin Aiden, a supernatural entity she can't always control. Yeah, not great. But that is the case for one unfortunate partygoer, as pointed out by commenter Pie of Epicness, who says, "The party in Beyond Two Souls where Ellen gets humiliated and then goes full Carrie. 14-year-old Jodie Holmes, who is voiced by Ellen Page, is encouraged by Department of Paranormal Activity scientist Nathan Dawkins to go to the birthday party of the daughter of a fellow DPA worker, and she's more than a little nervous."
Hi.
Hey, Kirsten, you coming? I gotta go. Come in, Jodie, don't be shy.
And the sad thing is, it turns out she has every right to be. No matter what choices you make at the party, it'll turn out bad for her, starting off with choosing the music.
What kind of garbage is that? Slide over. We'll put on something from this century. Something really popping.
Well, excuse me. I guess I'll leave the music to Ms. Super Cool here. Plus, the refusal of drinks comes with a nice side of peer pressure.
You don't know what you're missing, girl. After 3 or 4 beers, you'll see the world in a whole new light.
Still, one guy, Matt, seems sincere. He even offers you a dance.
You're not like other girls. I mean, there's something special about you.
Okay, first, ladies, number 1, that line is always a red flag, and number 2, Matt, not all girls you're talking to at parties are being followed around by a supernatural entity, so that doesn't work. After an optional smooch with Matt, if you've been honest about Aiden, you then have to show off your party trick and freak everyone out in the process.
Look at the TV. Wait, can you hear that? sounds like a voice. Okay, I've had enough.
Yeah, me too.
That was really scary.
And it gets worse as birthday girl Kirsten snubs the poetry book Nathan wrapped up as a gift from Jodie, and everyone turns against her.
Poems by Edgar Allan Poe?
Edgar Allan who?
What, did you steal this from your grandpa's library?
No, and it's really rare.
Yeah, just like your dress.
Even Matt turns on Jodie, going suddenly from complimentary to full-on creepy.
She's been following me around like a puppy all evening, begging for it.
What did I say? No one wants to be at a party where they get called a witch, burnt with a cigarette, or dragged away and locked in the cupboard under the stairs, because I guess David Cage was watching Harry Potter when he wrote this.
I'm begging you, please let me out!
But you're not in there forever, with Aiden giving you the option to get some sweet revenge.
This is a joke. It's really not funny. I'm not staying here.
Yeah, well, maybe if you and your friends weren't try-hard bullies, your party would have gone a little better.
Do you like parties? Because you've been invited to one. Of course, you'll be killing all the other guests. Are you ready to attend?
Nothing completes a party like a surprise element, an extra gift, friends jumping out from behind the couch, a deadly, deadly assassination. Not that last one. Well, 2006's Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion gave some party guests the ultimate surprise, in a Dark Brotherhood quest as Grizzly the Irishman recounts. No mention of Oblivion's Whodunit, the party that is both a murder mystery evening and a surprise party, and no one was aware it was either. Or because there are only 5 guests, does it not satisfy Jane's bloodlust? Actually, even Jane's bloodlust was quenched by this stab-happy quest, which involves killing every guest at this gathering in Skingrad. Here's fellow assassin Fafnir with the details.
So the last guest finally arrives. I'll tell you what I told all the others. You go in, I lock the door. You don't come out until it's over.
Well, the party don't start till I walk in, parentheses, and then kill everyone, close parentheses. Yes, it's up to you to murder all the party guests in Summit Mist Manor who have gathered to search the house for a chest of gold that was never really there to be found. To make things more interesting, you get a special Brotherhood bonus if you kill everyone without being caught.
Some call me naughty, but don't you believe it.
And thus begins a journey of small talk, finding out about the party guests and convincing each of them to wander off on their own so you can finish them off, such as convincing friendly Mathilde Petite to look in the basement.
Good idea. Maybe the chest is hidden under the floorboards. All right, I'll head down there and start looking.
You should feel bad when you silently murder her and everyone else in the place. But, you know, stealth bonus.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lady Inquisitor Trevelyan of the Ostwick Circle of Magi.
Attending a formal do can be nerve-wracking. You're putting yourself out there in all your finery, and who knows what the other attendees will make of you. Well, in the case of Dragon Age Inquisition's Orlesian Ball, you know exactly what everyone reckons, because an on-screen meter keeps track of how much or how little everyone thinks of you.
Look at Lady Cambion's slippers, trimmed with pearls, and emeralds, and those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster.
A nightmare party scenario, as noted by commenter Sarah Is Quiet Here, who says, "Oh god, remember that ball in Dragon Age Inquisition? That one will haunt my nightmares for years to come. Being judged every step you take, people disapproving of your every breath. As soon as you rock up to this swanky soiree at the Winter Palace, it becomes clear you should have stayed home. This notoriously tricky Dragon Age quest begins in the gardens with the Orlesian upper crust dallying about in fine clothes and masquerade masks in preparations for an exciting evening of, political negotiations?"
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
You might suspect at this point you're in for a dull night, but in fact this complex mission will keep you more on edge than a nervous cliffwalker, as your eyes are glued permanently to your court approval rating out of 100. Help people out or say the right thing in polite conversation, and it will creep up.
How do you find Halam Shiral? I've never seen anything to equal the Winter Palace.
but make a faux pas and the approval meter will show your hard-won social standing crumbling away. Handy if, like me, you want to know how much social standing was lost at that school dance where I tripped over my own shoes and into the punch bowl, but as a percentage. Frustratingly, for a very long and complicated mission, if your rating drops to 0, you'll be booted out the party and it's game over. So you can forget about getting raucous. This party is all about diplomacy, and success means enduring the harsh judgment of the uppity social elite, and meeting their insane standards for proper decorum. I'll tell them the same thing I told the staff on the Buckingham Palace tour. I don't care how sticky it makes my hands, I need to eat 12 jam sandwiches a day.
Little party tip from the party pros here. If you really want to make a splash at a party, be the guest who shows up with a very large, very intricate board game. Commenter Rey de los Monos knows, however, that board games, whether real or virtual, can quickly become rage-inducing when the magic balance between luck and skill gets skewed, saying, "What about Mario Party? It's all fun and games until someone beats you through random luck." Now, we know Mario knows how to party, he proved that in Just Dance 3. Maybe it's because he's besties with an actual princess who's used to a different class of entertainment, but attending a Mario Party actually involves rolling virtual dice to inch slowly around an elaborate board. Then, when everyone's had a go, indulging in a bizarre mini-game. Or the kind of lawn sports the royals must only break out when they're truly bored of polo. What, you don't? Stand on beach balls and chase a football into a goal? I hear Wills and Kate are mad for it. But what makes Mario's parties truly infamous is the way a lengthy multiplayer campaign can go sideways in an instant, due to a bit of computer-generated random nonsense that sends your stars and coins flying into the pockets of some other random chump. You know, taking the princess's coins is an act of sedition, right? More like Mario Party to treason.
It's only a matter of time before your whole rotten empire collapses of its own decay. No offence.
Dressing for a party is its own kind of nightmare, like the way that literally no one can tell you what smart casual means. It's even worse in games, as commenter Matt notes. What about the one in Skyrim? We had to change out of our armour for fancy clothes and had to ditch our weapons. Matt is referring, of course, to Skyrim's story mission Diplomatic Immunity, which sees the Dragonborn tasked with infiltrating a boring government drinks reception, dressed in what the game optimistically calls party clothes, but which more closely resemble those padded things people wear when training attack dogs.
I guess that'll have to do. You should pass for a real guest, at least until you open your mouth.
The party sadly isn't much to speak of, confined as it is to a single fairly grim room of the sprawling Thalmor embassy. The music leaves something to be desired. And it's filled with only a handful of embittered merchants or boorish Nords like Erikur, who, when not acting super creepy towards Brelas the servant, only wants to harp on about his own success.
I try to do my little part. Besides, just between you and me, it's making me pots of money.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So are the other guests showing up later, or...? And if you thought this party was awkward now, bear in mind that Rozellen here is only ever a drink or two away from making a scene.
I propose a toast to Elenwen, our mistress. I speak figuratively, of course. Nothing could be more unlikely than that someone would actually want her in their bed. Although, most of you are already in bed with her. But again, I speak figuratively, of course. Fine. Get your hands off me. I'll be a good boy now.
Yeesh. Happily, this is the perfect opportunity to ghost away from this skin-crawling soiree, which is actually exactly what your infiltration mission calls for, because it leads you through the kitchens where you can grab some of your weapons back before murdering a bunch of guards and escaping out through an underground hatch, along with a freed prisoner or two.
I saw guards dragging bodies over here. Might be a way out.
Still, wish I could go back and tell that Erica what I think of him. As usual, I've thought of the perfect thing to say after I've left the party. What I should have said was...
What do you want this time, Ripto?
Oh, yeah. What do we want this time, boss?
You're not hired for your brains, you dinosaurian landmass!
Nothing brings a party down faster than uninvited crashes, as commenter Caitlin RC knows only too well. How about the Dragonfly birthday party from Spyro Enter the Dragonfly? You were there, enjoying cake, and then Ripto busts in and kidnaps all the guests. Yes, the 4th console entry in the Spyro series begins peacefully enough, with the gang enjoying a party in celebration of all the young dragons getting their Dragonfly guardians.
They sure do look happy, don't they, Spyro?
Well, it's not every day that a dragon gets his dragonfly.
Oh, what? I want a dragonfly! Stupid dragons get all the luck. Except they don't really, because before Spyro can break out the jam and scones, who should appear but the nefarious Ripto from the previous games, who's back, and he's stronger than ever, as he's about to tell you.
So, we meet again, little dragon. I'm back, and I'm stronger than ever!
See? Anyway, Ripto quickly demonstrates why he didn't get an invite in the first place by using magic to kidnap all the dragonflies. Before crawling back into the party-ruining portal he came from.
Spyro, that little lizard totally stole all the dragonflies! Even Sparks is gone!
So what you're saying is more cake for us. I knew I liked you, weird cheetah dude.
So those are even more of the parties in games that are just, oh, so much effort. Why parties? Why are you like this? It's a nightmare. Just stay home. Yes, eat the whole cake. Why not? You don't have to share. You don't have to think about what you're going to wear. Oh, it's just it's so much better. Just pop Netflix on. Lovely. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, guys, then good news for you, because there's more videos to watch. This one up here is good. This one down here is arguably even better. I've heard it's a whole party in itself, and why not subscribe to really get the party started? And also, what is up with those masquerade bunny masks? They're in all these games and they are never a good sign. No, someone's getting murdered if you head to that party, so steer clear. That's our advice. I was not prepared.